Dear students, I welcome you to the online classes organized by ISP. Dear students, this is our lecture number 16 on the subject of corpus linguistics. Dear students, this might be our last lecture on this component of course. Dear students, you know that when we started our journey, we set some goals and destination, and we started with the definition of corpus linguistics and the definition of corpora. Dear students, if I could remind you, we went through the types of corpora and then issues in the building of corpora. And one of the most important issues was of representativeness. Dear students, our destination and goal was to build or to collect our own corpus and then to handle it for the investigation of features of language. Dear students, as you know that these online classes were organized because of pandemic COVID-19, and at the start there was the chance that perhaps we might have some lectures in which we might meet one another physically or in the normal physical face-to-face classes. However, as you know, the pandemic became severe and we could not have such chance of face-to-face classes. However, we moved on to these online classes and we started annotation of corpora, then types of annotation, and then the application of corpus in different fields, departments of applied linguistics. Dear students, we try to make and arrange situation and our lectures in such a way that we kept the practical aspect of this component of course at the end. The reason was that I wanted to present this part of the component of the course in face-to-face classes, because perhaps face-to-face classes was the best measurement for teaching and learning to establish and build our own corpus and then to use it. However, as you know, the situation became such severe that now there was no chance. There was no chance of face-to-face classes. So at the end, we have to rely upon this online system to make you understand how to build corpus and how to use it for the investigation of different features of language. Dear students, in our previous lecture, we did a practice after going through again the basic concepts about corpus we did the practice in which I made you see how to use Corpus software and how to load a file on this Corpus, and finally how to use different tools of software for the investigation of that Corpus. Dear students, in the previous lecture we have had a very slim kind of file that we try to investigate, and at the end we summed up our lecture with these comments that in the same way a heavy kind of file can be uploaded on the software, and we can use the software in the same way for the investigation of that heavy kind of file through the application of the software. So today I would like to show you how a heavy kind of file can be uploaded on this software that was Nconc. We know that we have been using in the previous class, and then we would go through how to use the same tools, that is of concordance, cluster, collocation, and keyness. And we will see how these tools can be applied to that heavy kind of file. But we would try to move a step further. And in that step, we would like to see how, by the application of the tools of Corpus, how we move forward. We move forward by detecting the patterns of language, and we try to explain those patterns of language, and this helps us for the investigation of language. So that is the step that we would try to move further. Dear students, the topic is same as was in previous lecture, that was building and using our own Corpus, but I just, in order to make a kind of difference, I have added one with that topic. So outline of the lecture of today are the same. First we would discuss very briefly the basic concepts of Corpus in order to keep your memory fresh, and then we would try to build our own Corpus, and then we would try to apply a software on that Corpus. But today, dear students, keep in mind that we are going to use a heavy kind of file for that purpose. Now, dear students, how can we build our own Corpus? For building our Corpus, we have to decide what kind of Corpus we are going to collect. We know that Corpus is or corpora are of different types. So, what kind of Corpus we would build or collect? It depends upon what kind of research we are going to do, and then on the basis of that nature of research, we would decide what kind of Corpus we need. Then, Corpus may be of many kinds, and it depends upon the purpose for which the Corpus is being used. It has already been discussed. Corpora may be journal or reference corpora. Now these are the types of corpora we know now very well. A specialized kind of corpora, diachronic or historical corpora, then learner's corpora, multilingual, parallel, tag, target, etc. So these are the kind of corpora that we can build, and later on we can use them in our research, depending upon the nature of research. So what are the issues that go into the collection or the building up of Corpus? Number one is research purpose. So it depends upon our research purpose, and we would collect our Corpus according to that purpose. So nature of study is also in the same line, and if we need written corpora or it might be spoken corpora, so nature of our study would decide this issue. The research questions are also very important because we have to collect and establish corpora of such nature that could be helpful in answering our research questions. Naturally, every kind of research tries to make some kind of generalization at the end because we cannot make a kind of study or research for very limited kind of so our research should be of such nature, and a good research is of such nature that we at the end we can generalize our results for the same kind of researches. Then a research agenda means how many people and what kind of people are having access to our corpus. Time and funding is also important. We have to decide how much time we are going to spend because it is time-taking process, the collection of corpus. And similarly, do we have such amount of funds that could be utilized in the collection and later on investigation of language? We know, dear student, representativeness is a very important issue in the building and collection of corpus and corpus linguistics, because if we have such kind of corpus that that contains maximum number of language examples in use, that would make our corpus representative. And when we have such kind of corpus that is representative, then naturally it would enhance the value of our research. It would be more valid and it would be more authentic as well. Dear students, these are the tools for the analysis of corpus. One is of keyness. It means how many times a word is occurring in a given text or a given corpus. Then concordance is the presentation of a keyword in its context. It consists of one line normally, and it gives us a kind of context in which some keyword that we are searching for is used. Then collocation is the chance of frequent co-occurrence of two words within a given spell. For example, if we have fall in love, fall flat. So this is a kind of co-occurrence, and we try to determine how many times this kind of chance co-occurrence is happening. Then cluster is a group of words and which follow each other in a text. So collocation is just consists of two words, and a cluster consists of group of words. So these are the tools that we are going to use or we use in the analysis of a corpus. Today I want to show how we can use software for the investigation of language, and how again I would like to show you how we can use a kind of a corpus for the investigation of language. And I hope you would get interest, and you would see that corpus linguistics is a branch of linguistics that has been adding a new dimension into the research of language, because we are using computer for that research purpose, and it makes our research quantitative, and naturally it makes our research valid and true and authentic when we use such kind of machine, accurate kind of machine in the investigation of language. So dear students, let us first open the software that we are going to use. We already know we are well familiar with it. It's NCOM 3.24W, and it uses Windows 2011. Now, dear students, in the previous lecture and in some time past, I have shown you this software, but in the previous lecture we were using a very light kind of file for the investigation of language. But today, what I have brought for you, it is a novel of Tariq Ali, a Pakistani fiction writer. Perhaps most of you would be familiar with the name of Tariq Ali, and I have brought a novel of Tariq Ali. The title of the novel is The Stone Women. So today we are going to investigate this novel by using this software and home, and you will see how our keyword, our concordances, are then clusters and collocation help us. These are the tools we know that we use in the investigation of some corpus, and we will see how these can help us to investigate language, and further, a step further, how when we use these tools, how these can generate pattern, and how a researcher can detect those patterns. And it is up to researcher to not only to detect those patterns, but later on to explain those patterns for the research. So, dear students, let us move forward, and we know that first we have to upload a file over here, and that file would be shown in this part of the window. Then naturally we would go for some word keyword, and then we would try to check its concordance and how many times it has been there, that is the frequency of this particular word. Then we would also try to go through the clusters and collocation of that particular word. So dear students, let us move forward, and I would like to now load that file into this software for investigation. Dear students, we have to click file. Now we will move forward. Now this is open file, and it would as soon as you would press it, as we have shown in the previous lecture, as soon as you would press it, then naturally all the files present in are stored in your computer would be shown, and then you will select that particular file that you need for the investigation. So let us press open file. Now this we know is the list of all those files that are stored in my computer, and naturally I would go for that particular file, as I have already told you that we are going to investigate a novel of Tariq Ali, and the title of the novel is The Stone Women. So dear students, now I am going to move forward, and I have stored this file in a removable disk, and it is in the new folder. I hope so. I have opened a new folder, but I should open new folder 2 instead of new folder. Now this is the storage in a new folder. Then I am going toward documents data, and here is that file, The Stone Woman. You can see it over here. I am going to click The Stone Woman, and then I would like to open. As soon as I would press open, you can see in this part of the window that is under Corpus file, you can see The Stone Women. So this is the method of loading some file into this Corpus, into this software, sorry. And today we are using the corpus of The Stone Women. This is the name of the novel by Tariq Ali. So I hope you are now familiar with how to load some file into that software. First you have to go into file, you have to press it, then open file. As soon as you would press open file, then all the data of your computer would come into play, and you will press a particular file that you need for investigation or you intend to investigate, and as soon as that file would be you will click that file and then open, and it would be automatically uploaded onto this software. So this is our file now that we are going to investigate. So let us move forward first, and I am going to write a keyword over here. As you know, in the previous lecture we did this practice as well. So I have to write some keyword that I want to search here, and what I am going to write, it is let us say stone, S-T-O-N-E. So I have written stone over here, then I would press stop, and here are the results. It means that the stone women has occurred totally 107 times. You can see here, this is the frequency of the stone or the stone that I am going to use as a keyword. Now you can see that, dear students, you can see in this window that there are, it is hit and keyword in context. Actually it is showing us the concordance. So you can see here 1, 2, 3 up to 16, 17. Then if you would want to see all of them, here you can see that they are moving forward, and they are 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. It means that if I would keep on pressing, then we would have all the 107 frequencies before us, and dear students, then we can find. Then if you can move forward now, I would like to come back to this concordance at the end, because today I want to move a step forward to show you how can we interpret. If there are some pattern, how can we detect them and how can we interpret them? Now, dear students, you can see that if we want to have concordance plot, then this is the concordance plot. You can see that stone is actually occurring over here, then over here many times. Then there is cluster of stones here, and so on and so forth. You can see these black lines actually show the occurrence of the word stone in this corpus, that is of novel The Snow Women. Now, dear students, let us move forward. File view, then clusters. Now these are the clusters that we can have here. So stone women. Now this shows us with stone what are the other words that are occurring with stone women. After stone, women has been occurring 100 times. So totally, as we know that Stone Women is the title of this novel. So Stone Women has occurred 100 times in the novel. Then the stone, that is an article the before stone, it has been occurring 20 times. Then you, comma stone 6 times, and so on. So these are the clusters that has been occurring. Now if we look at the collocations, then we would see that now these are the collocations. You can see here that frequency of stone is 101, and it is 0 to the left, 0 to the right, and its stat is -1. Similarly, women has been occurring 100 times, and its frequency towards the right, stone after stone, is 100, and its stat is 9.77686. So these are the collocations. Similarly, we can check the word list. You can see that the total number of word types are 8001. These are the total words. Then total number of word tokens are 89489. These are the total words in the novel. Now, the article the is the most frequent word in this novel, and it has occurred 3863 times. To is another preposition, and this is its frequency. I has occurred 2398 times, and 2354 times, and so on and so forth. So this is the frequency of each word that has occurred in this novel. Now, keyword list is here, and you can see keyword list even here, and keyness as well. So let us now go back to concordance. Now this was the display of how we can use different tools for the investigation of language. Now if you look at concordance, and what I want to make you see that how can we interpret different kind of how can we identify, and then how can we interpret different patterns. Here students, look at this concordance. I wanted to see the stone women. So she became the stone women. Now this we would try to see and detect whether this word stone has been generating a kind of pattern, and how can we explain that pattern. So third one is, and in this way the stone women became the repository, perhaps is over here. We can also see it by moving it towards right. So this might be repository, I believe. And then better to be open and the stone women enabled. Now this is also concordance. Then old memories, the stone women was still there. Then I have come back, stone women, I have come back. I missed you, stone women. We loved our stone women. Talking to the stone women. Children these days, stone women. Then boys in this family, stone women. Only you could speak, stone women. Far below where the stone women stood. A truth to the stone women and bemoans. Then to my tale of woe, stone women, and it always did, stone women. Now these are the 116 out of 107 lines that I have gone through. You can see that from stone women we can have some pattern. Even from these 6 lines we can detect some kind of pattern. The pattern is that stone women is the central figure of this piece of fiction, that is the novel, and it was actually a kind of statue, and the women used to visit this statue, and they used to utter or they used to tell their stories of woe and sorrow to the stone women. The reason was that the society was of such nature that women were not allowed to express themselves. They did not get a chance to express their feelings. So they used to visit this statue of the stone women. It became their central figure. It became their friend in the sense that they could express themselves and they could lighten their heart by expressing their feelings before it. So, dear students, you can see the stone women became the repository, and the stone women enabled all the stone women was still there. Stone women, I have come back, I miss you. So these are the words uttered in such a way that as if stone women were something alive, as if stone women were their friend, and it was sitting before them or beside them, and they were expressing themselves to it. And from this pattern, what we have been interpreting that perhaps the society was of such nature, of conservative nature, that the women could not express themselves, they could not express their feelings, and they could not disgorge them before anyone. So they visited these stone women to express their feelings. So just from, you can see 3 to 4 lines, we can detect a pattern, and similarly we can interpret it for our understanding. Dear students, this was the step that I wanted to add into your knowledge. However, keeping in view the limitations of online classes, perhaps even this was not enough, because it demands face-to-face classes for understanding how to build corpora and how to use. Dear students, as I have told you, this might be our last meeting. Dear students, I did try my best to convey whatever I had about this subject, but still I know that there were the limitations of these online classes. I did my best. I do not know how much you are satisfied, but I did try my best. Dear students, hopefully you will be preparing yourself for your final examinations, and which are going to be held very soon. I wish you best of the luck for your final examinations. That's all from my side for this component of course. Stay safe, stay blessed.